Hi everybody, Zach from Derp. Today, me and Neil say hi to everybody.
What's up? You know it's your boy.
That's
That's
enough, That's enough, thank you. Today, we're not going to try to make anything funny. We're actually going to show you something that happened near my house when I was like a kid. Right now we're on basically the crime scene of a homicide of a serial killer that lived in our area for like years. We're going to tell you about Troy, New York's most notorious serial killer, Gary Evans. Gary, a little bio, background, whatever you want to call it, was born October 7th, 1954, and was involved in 8 murders over a span of 12 years, a lot of which happened in this town alone. And we just happened to be standing on, the site where the last, almost murder took place. This is actually where, the murder happened, but this is definitely where he put the body. Where do I start, pretty much? Gary was, the best way I could put it, he was like a natural criminal. Before he started killing people, he was naturally like a thief. You used to rob people's houses and, liquor stores and all that stuff. My father's cousin knew him back when they were teenagers, and there was a story that my father told me about. One day, his cousin, my cousin's girlfriend, now wife, and Gary were in the same room watching TV, and they were watching this public access dog show. And there was this one dog on TV where my cousin's girlfriend was like, "I would just love to have a dog like that." Gary got up out of the room and left. The next day, Gary showed up to my cousin's house with the dog. But at the same time, in the local newspaper, there was a missing article about a trophy dog being literally taken off somebody's front yard. So basically, Gary had been doing this since he was like a fucking kid. The killings, Gary killed some people, pretty much whether it be for people he thought that were gonna rattle him out for doing something, people that were gonna, take him in. Pretty sure he did kill a cop. He killed a sheriff back in the 80s. He killed somebody in Florida, I think for drugs. Something to do with a drug dealer went bad. And here, this site, pretty much, basically, if you guys look at this very closely, this is actually a power lines trail. This is basically the electric company out in my area would put power lines and all that stuff, and they would lay telephone poles down for construction to be done. They're still working on this place, and for some reason, he thought that it was going to be like a good idea to just leave a body here. October 3rd, 1997, Gary Evans shot and killed, I believe his name is Tim Reisendorf. I apologize if I'm not saying that correctly. In the back of the head. The reason he did that is because Tim was kind of like a partner in crime with Gary, stealing stuff. I know they were involved with a jewelry heist up in Vermont, and then they started selling some of the jewelry out of a van in Troy and Albany and Schenectady for a time. He killed Tim because he basically thought he was being double-crossed, and Tim was taking some of the stuff they had stolen and selling it without Gary knowing. So Gary shot and killed him. Then he took a chainsaw and he cut up Tim in 5 separate pieces, and then he put him in 5 separate garbage bags. And then he drove his truck from the trail down there all the way over to this part, and he ditched the garbage bags over in this area, somewhere over here. And the next day, the people who, operate on the power lines found the bags. I don't know why Gary thought it was a good idea to ditch a body right here. This may look like a deserted area, but it's not. People are back here every day. I've been coming up here since I was a kid on nature hikes with my old man. I know people who jog that will take that trail and run through here, and they'll run down this steep embankment, which people also four-wheel on daily. So I don't know what was going through his head. Maybe it was just a spur of the moment kind of thing. But basically that was the reason why he got caught. The story behind that is I heard two electric company guys, pretty much. They had some telephone poles on it was kind of like a giant wood rack. They're getting ready to construct them and put them up. They literally saw the bags over here and they thought, what the hell was that? Someone's throwing away their trash. And lo and behold, there's like an arm and a leg and like a couple of bags. I think Gary was arrested almost 2 days later. Some people from the area is going to remember this story. Gary, about almost a year later, on August 12th, 1998, was being transported from Rensselaer County Courthouse to an Albany County Courthouse. And at the time, he was handcuffed, but he had a razor blade strapped to his thigh, and he had shoved one of those little handcuff keys up his nose. So what he did is he managed to escape out of the back of a police, what do they call those, Neil?
Van, some...
Police vans, transport vans.
Yeah.
He kicked the door out, and he kind of like hobbled out. They were on top of the Menands Bridge, and he got up to the side. And then there was also that one huge rumor, because this was such a big deal, is the cops got out of the car and said, "Don't jump." And right before Gary jumped off the bridge, he said, "I win," and then he jumped out. Gary was trying to escape. There's also another story, there could have been a boat right underneath the bridge that was supposed to be some getaway boat or something, or he was supposed to be able to swim away. But he had kind of like fucked up, and when he jumped, he hit the water and he died. So he kind of accidentally killed himself trying to escape. And I remember that day, I was with my mom, we were out, and I think we're coming out of like some place where my mom was getting her nails done. I remember just an army of cop cars going down the road, and someone said, yeah, the Gary Evans guy just jumped over the bridge. He said he might be alive, he might not be. That's how big of a deal it was to us, because we are part of a small town, less than like 50,000 people. And, you know, having a serial killer from your hometown who's been killing people for like 12 years to just finally try to escape and jump is, I guess, kind of a big deal compared to, like, I don't know, living in like the heart of a city where, you know, death happens like every day. That's pretty much all I have for you guys. It's not funny. It's not a funny video. I figured it's something like cool and nerdy if you're into like serial killers and shit. This is kind of like something me and Neil can only share, and this is like a quarter mile away from my house, and it's probably only a mile away from Neil's. So, I mean, this crime scene, memorable to us. You guys probably didn't know about it. All that hunky-dory shit. We've come to realize that we're not funny people at all. Even the page isn't funny, so we figured we'd do something else and just talk about some cool, nerdy factoids. Kind of like that one video of Angry Video Game Nerd went to the actual cemetery where they shot Night of the Living Dead. And they kind of just went factoided out, they nerded out, and they're like, oh, that's the gravestone, or that one chick crawled out of the ground, and all that fun stuff. And I figured that's what we try to do here. So if you guys thought this was a cool video, I guess that's cool. It's kind of like a Halloween-themed thing, because talking about serial killers and something really happened. I'm surprised they didn't make like a movie about it.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe we should like...
Halloween, Gary Evans.
Nice. I like it.
You done talking?
Yeah, I'm done talking.
Take the camera from me while I do a Halloween dance. Yo, what's good?
Neil's gonna do a Halloween dance to make the video entertaining.
Me and my boots, son. Halloween, motherfucker! It comes in about 3 weeks! What? Halloween, motherfucker! Yeah! What? Yo, Neshin, new track coming soon, baby.
Yeah, Neil has a rap name called Neshin.
Yeah. I think it's pretty hot.
Everyone should know Neshin. You know it's your boy out here when it's Neshin. Yeah.
Yeah, it's your boy. It's
your
boy. Got a little captain in me.
Neil Schneider for president. He hearts kitties.
Schneider Co. 2012, baby. Whoop. Zip. Dude, look how steep that fucking hill is. Shit.
Oh no!